Fam, what's going on? Kyle Henderson, Bama football on YouTube. Regular case, it was slow to load to YouTube, so I wanted to cut a video for a score prediction going into this weekend's mega game against LSU. Do I think that Alabama is going to beat LSU? Yes, I do. I'll get right to it. My score prediction is 37-31. Right? How they get to 37, I have no idea. Maybe more like 38-31, something along that. What scares me about this game is the fact that Garrett Nussmeier is going to be the best quarterback that Alabama's defense has played in quite some time. And look, I get it. They executed really well against Missouri, but Missouri was playing handcuffed. They didn't have a quarterback. They didn't have a running back. If that team would have scored, I would have been mortified. But they did execute. But when you look to Alabama's secondary, look, they're vulnerable. 100%. Did Bray Hubbard step up? Yeah, he did. Against a team with no quarterback. You want to play this in the locker room? Go ahead. Everybody knows it. Like, this is the truth. You have a freshman at corner playing on a national stage once again. Xavier Brown, he's been beaten. Red Morgan, he's been beaten. Receivers have got behind Alabama's secondary. I'm not breaking any news. I'm not talking smack about the players. I never would. These are facts. That is what scares me in a game like this. Now, Garrett Nussmeier, he didn't have his best game against Texas A&M, right? In fact, he looked less than stellar, bringing up the football stats right now between that game. And I think that Alabama has an ability in this game to move the football. My takeaways, and I guess my reasoning, is you had Marcel Reed, who came off the bench, really, right, as Texas A&M's backup quarterback a couple weeks ago. The guy ran the football 9 times for 62 yards and ran for 3 scores. Jalen Milroe is a much better runner and a much better quarterback than Marcel Reed, who came off in the second half. If LSU had a hard time stopping Marcel Reed, they're going to have a hard time stopping Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe for Alabama. Who are we going to get? I think this is a huge money game for Jalen Milroe. On the season, 1,900 yards, 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, QBR 80.7, which is 12th in the country. But in the last couple of games, and I get it, good competition, SEC play, but he's thrown 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Remember the game against Tennessee where he just threw the ball to Ryan Williams? Against Missouri, I get it. They went to the ground, kind of light work. He was 16-26 against Missouri, 215. I don't know. He just hasn't looked the same since Vanderbilt. And look, the offensive line, calling them out too. The right side of the offensive line scares me to death. Elijah Pritchett, whoa. Vulnerability. Jaden Roberts, not healthy. Jalen Milroe has been sacked 9 times in the last 3 games. 9 times. LSU's pass rush, they're going to get to the quarterback. I think they're a top 10 team in terms of getting to the quarterback. So, yeah, those sort of things absolutely scare me. Will Alabama run the football? I would imagine, but do they want to get into a back-and-forth shootout with LSU? No. Let me ask you, do you think that Jam Miller will run the football? I've been asking this all week. Do you think that Jam Miller will run the football more or less than 15 times in this game? If you're a casual football fan or you don't really go by the stats, you're like, oh, he must get 15 to 20 carries a game. No, he doesn't. 11 carries against Missouri, 12 against Tennessee, 12 against South Carolina, 5 against Vanderbilt, 5 against Georgia, 9 against Wisconsin. He had 15, which is a season high against South Florida way back in week 2. I would have to say under. They don't utilize the running backs at Alabama. Now, you have the best running quarterback in all of college football, and that's probably why. But I've never went into a game. I've never watched Alabama play this season, right? And I've never felt that this team, that their overall job was to run the football down the opponent's throat, was to control the time of possession. That's never been the game plan. The game plan to me has been, I don't know, it's kind of been balanced with, hey, we're going to land a haymaker, the haymaker being Jalen Milroe, hook up to Ryan Williams for like a 85-yard touchdown. That's kind of the game plan, right? We have haymakers, and we're going to hit you with one of them. Keys to beating LSU, well, I mean, I just mentioned one of them, right? You got to run the football. You have to. You have to control the time of possession. I think if you get Jam Miller over 15 carries, you win this game. I think if Jalen Milroe, another key to the game, I think if he accounts for 4 touchdowns, I don't care if he's running them, passing them, if he accounts for 4 touchdowns in this game, Alabama wins. No gadget plays, please. Don't do that. That's for 6-4 high school football teams. You don't have to be fancy. You have too many game breakers and too many playmakers to do reverse passes and all this weird stuff. Don't do that. It might work, but it's just not it. You run the football. Get inside the red zone. You don't look, I get it. You can throw it to Ryan Williams, maybe a Caleb Odom, which would be crazy, or something with Kendrick Law. Yo, get in the red zone, run the ball. Run the ball. A design quarterback run, fine. But feed Jam Miller. I get it. Justice Haynes is coming along too. But, like, feed your power back inside. You watch it. You watch the NFL? You get inside, the 3-5 yard line, you run the ball. Feed them. Got to get pressure on the quarterback. You got to get pressure on Garrett Nussmeier. If you get pressure on him, does that mean that your corners and your safeties are on one-on-one coverage? Probably, and that could be bad. But you got to get to him. Because I think if you allow this quarterback time to throw, he's going to eat you up. He's going to fit the ball in tight windows. They have receivers that can stretch the field. They have receivers that can make catches, contested catches. Pressure on the quarterback, it leads to turnovers. I get it. You got to start fast and take the air out of Death Valley, but limit big plays in the second half. Don't get into a street fight. And I think in closing, have a plan for the noise and for the weather. I don't think it's going to rain. I don't think it'll be that bad, but have a plan in place. That noise is going to be a factor. It was against Tennessee, and you guys know the outcome of that. I appreciate you being here. Please hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. You can catch me live for the Alabama LSU watch along right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Thank you very much for listening. Hit the thumbs up. I'll catch you soon. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube.